Hello, my beautiful friends. It's your friend Kevin. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're always welcome to this space. Today is Wednesday, the 9th of August, 2023. I got exciting news. We did pass the threshold of 301 subscribers. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Really good, really good, really good. And at the end of this card of the day reading, I got a little special, which I want you to hopefully pass out to people. But let's get right to your card of the day. All right, so we are using the Archangel Michael Sword of Light Oracle deck by Radleigh Valentine with illustrations by Echo Chernick. And we have the perspective card from Radleigh's Archangel Power Tarot deck featuring Archangel Chamuel, the eyes of God, he who sees what God sees, he who brings what you're looking for, shows in this particular card shows a different viewpoint. Now this is the card of the week, so it's here to influence each card of the day, to give an insight into what this card is, or at least to offer another perspective for it, which you'll notice this week we've been looking at different ways our spirit comes to us, speaks to us, communicates with us, looking for signs. We've had a couple of 3-card readings pop up. So, and my isms, which oddly enough seem to be tying in with all of this. I was doing my Lionsgate meditation yesterday and heard, I am a spiritual heart warrior. Whatever that means to you, say it out loud, but pay attention to how you feel after you've said it. What is the vibration? What is the resonance? What is pulsing through you when you've said, I am a spiritual heart warrior? You know, when we look at warriors, we see these people in fighting mode with their shields and their swords. A warrior just stands firm in the beliefs. Firm in what they believe in, firm in the convictions. That's what a warrior does. It's work. The other part to it is love and light is my vibration. Peace is my portion. Peace is the portion what you bring. Now underneath it is a little bit more, which you can say this is a bit of a rhyme. I am a noble person doing world-class work and fulfilling a mighty purpose through the eyes of love, so it is. I am a noble person doing world-class work and fulfilling a mighty purpose through the eyes of love, so it is. Now, saying this 3 times, I am a noble person doing world-class work and fulfilling a mighty purpose through the eyes of love, so it is bringing that into being. It's bringing that right down into your doorstep. But let's get on with the card of the day and see how all this ties in. Great Father in the sky, loving Mother in the earth, angels, ancestors, guides, from all 4 corners and all realms, I welcome you to this space. It gives me great pleasure to be your messenger. Thank you for bringing us the message that will enlighten, inspire, and heal others. So be it, so shall it be. Well, there we go. Oh, look at this. Your prayers are being answered. Now, come on, stop. There we go. Number 42 adds up to a 6. I like to think that 6 is a creative number. And this is showing Archangel Michael, obviously, in a different image. And the messenger says, your prayers are being received by the divine. Answers will come soon, although perhaps in forms you did not expect. So once again, we look at this perspective with Archangel Chamuel, and I get the message really clearly to keep your eyes open, to keep yourself open to what you hear, what you see, what you feel, and the dreams. Oh goodness, the dreams that come. When you wake up, you might be feeling things, seeing things, experiencing things. There will be words that you might be saying in these dreams. You may remember conversations that you're having in these dreams. The important part is whatever you're supposed to listen to and pay attention to will be the words that you remember in the conscious here and now. I'd love to kind of get some more insight into how all of that works, but I really feel like we are all having this physical experience. And what I've gained from learning about all of this in the last little while, because it hasn't necessarily been that long, is that this time-space continuum of the past, the present, the future, in that world, in the spirit world of which we come from, just sort of blends in together. And this is where I feel like when we cross back into the physical on our waking hours, when we do wake up, none of it makes any sense, because the physical mind, the physical body, the physical intellect is trying to put it in a box, trying to put a label on it, trying to say, well, what was that about? Who were those people? And what in the world was I doing in that place? And why was I having that experience? Because the physical world is very different from that spiritual world. Sometimes we just have to accept what it is, the message it came from. I think I shared with you a couple of 3 days ago. I'm waking up, leading a congregation of people, singing This Little Light of Mine, I'm going to let it shine. And there were all these folks standing in pews in this big auditorium, singing and swaying and clapping their hands like a gospel revival. And all I remember waking up and hearing that song in my head, but not really understanding what the dream was really truly about. So, your prayers, they're being answered. There's a lovely saying that I love, a quote, the good you do comes back to you. And I heard it yesterday in a podcast where we don't always know, or we don't always give with the non-expectation of receiving. Some folks, and I'm guilty of it in my past, give, and there's an expectation that they will get something for the giving. The lesson is that when we give unconditionally and without any expectation for anything in return. But you know, as we're talking about Chamuel, looking at a different perspective, just give if it feels like you should be giving. And the minute you let go of the resentment of giving because you never got anything back, or they don't seem to be grateful, or you didn't get what it is you were expecting from the person, if you launch straight into, I'm not saying you personally, but you know, when those folks launch right into the feeling slighted, or the feeling that, well, you know, it was kind of rude, whatever it is, the feeling, the negative feeling, the push back feeling, well, then that stops any of the giving, any of the vibration of generosity, the reciprocity from coming back. There is a point with which you can say, listen, I have done what I can, I've helped where I can, I've given of myself the way I can. And it's okay if it isn't enough. Some folks come from a space of, well, thank you very much for that gift. It's really not quite enough. I need more. I want more. That's the journey. That's the journey of a person who perhaps has that mindset of lack, poverty. That's what I'm somewhat working with, getting through it. We're always looking for that instant gratification. We're always looking for that instant confirmation that what we send up, the prayers, what we look for, the ideals, are not being answered or they're not being heard. Well, spirit world has its work to do, but it's also teaching. If the idea is coming from a place of, well, I'll give you this if you give me that, which is a bit like bartering, with nothing wrong with bartering, as long as the love, fulfilling a mighty purpose through the eyes of love, as long as that love is really, truly felt, and obviously Chamuel sees it. So in our daily lives, in the forgetting of our oneness with the source energy, which really is part of the earthly incarnation, we forget that we come from spirit. It's easy to fall into belief that your prayers are not unheard or not answered, or no one cares or no one's listening. But this card today and today's energy is simply saying it's not true. It's never been true. It's a complete and utter lie. So the angels, through all these messages, are giving us deep compassion. They don't want to see any of us labor under this misconception that our prayers aren't answered, that we go unheard, that we somehow don't matter. What may be true is that you're not getting the answer you expected, so you do not recognize it as an answered prayer. A different path, different perspective of joy, other than the one that you thought you were going to get, other than the one you thought you were going to expect, a different way is in progress. Perhaps you've been distracted by life, or your experience of life has been such that you don't really trust it, you don't really believe in it. But now you're getting confirmation that it is there, it's true, it's coming. In the human experience, the time between putting the prayer up and getting it answers is somewhat confusing. But remember, we have to be patient. The time-space continuum here on Earth in a physical form was created by somebody to explain how long it takes for the Earth to go around the sun. So if you're really stuck on this, if you're really sort of like not really sure if your prayers are being answered, are you hearing me? Are you getting me? Are you tracking me? Then you go to your guardian angels. Now, there's a lot of folks that don't believe in guardian angels, then call them spirit guides. You know, for a longest time, I'm thinking, what's the difference between a guardian angel and a spirit guide? Very little. It's a different realm, but very little. I think it is, for me, I don't know about for you, I think it is a question of what it is that makes you feel so comfortable that you're willing to say it. I think of mine, the one that's been with me through lifetime after lifetime, who I now know here and now, is Daniel. A bit like a guardian angel and a bit like a spirit guide. And my spirit guides feel like the wise ones that have walked on earth, the wise ones that bring these wise, all this wise knowledge. And I feel like I'm going off on a tangent here. That's for another video. But the point I'm saying, the point I'm making, if you don't believe your prayers are being answered, or you're confused about what you're supposed to get, when you're supposed to get it, what the purpose is, ask your guardian angel, your spirit guide, would you please bring me a clear indication through a sign or through a message that what I'm asking for is for my highest good and it's on the way. And then you have to let that go. You have to sort of act like it doesn't matter because it's all heard. And I think that's it. Listen, I got a special coming up. Let's see what this is. There we go. A magical opportunity to get a card reading this coming Friday, the 11th, from noon Eastern time to 6 p.m. You can get a quick card reading, a little insight. Go to my website. Go to my email, kevincross@me.com, and I'll send you the link to the Zoom and the payment link. And with that said, you have a great day. Keep liking, keep subscribing, keep on sending all of this out to all those who need it. And I love you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.